Hi, I'm Seamless, and today is Sunday, which normally means it's time for a new track from scratch. And for once in like a month, I'm actually doing that, and it's gonna be good. Don't have my camera on right now because I don't feel like it. So for now, I'm gonna just do this. So this is the ninth day of some kind of dubstep track. The last time we were here, I was accompanied by a vocalist named Sarah Libri. And we decided it'd be funny to do opera-style vocals over the melodic parts of this track. I don't know how well it's going to work out in the end, and this may very, very well have been a bad decision, just like a lot of things that are happening in this track. But I don't care. I wanted to see what would happen, and I think it was awesome. So, I'm gonna play through what we got so far, and then I'm gonna continue making it. And I'm pretty sure it won't die. The CPU is kind of high, though. That's a little unfortunate. It's possible because I have XSplit open. Or by XSplit, I mean Twitch. I'm just gonna close it. See if that improves. Wow, that improved a lot. Okay, well, lesson learned. Don't have Twitch open while I'm streaming to Twitch. Okay, I'm just gonna play it. Here we go. right, so a lot of what's going to happen today is mostly going to be me fixing and editing timing in the vocals. When we recorded them, essentially what happens when you do long notes is that the vocalist has to breathe, and although that doesn't really sound right, you know, for the sort of style that we're going for. So it's just going to be, I just got to come in here and make some edits to make the breaths come out, and also make, you know, just make the sibilants line up and make the parts end when, you know, together and that kind of thing, just so that everything all fits and is good. So that's a big part of what's going to happen. And I was expecting to do this. We kind of did this with that in mind, that was going to happen, and that was going to work. Like timing and stuff like that. It's all particularly easy when you're just doing it, editing. Some weirdness is when you cut some stuff, because normally what I would do for something like this, for example, I would just do that and then like, but then that happens. You can't hear the clicks. And part of that actually, you can hear like some bass going on in there, and it's like not super necessary. Even if I did have the bass in there, those clicks are still gonna be present. But there's actually things for this. If I go to declicking and turn on, was it crossfading? Oh. It's still a little weird, but it's only weird if you're listening to like we are, which is like it's by itself, and it doesn't interact with anything. You can kind of see how it's doing what it's doing. So I'm able to make the timing adjustments that I want to. Fortunately, her timing wasn't perfect, but her tone and like her consistency in the tone were good enough that if I you know, stretch any of it and cause it to loop, it's not like so bad that it's super noticeable if I do that. Sometimes that happens with like really expressive material. It's like, now this part's going to be a little interesting, because my plan is just, this actually might sound pretty bad if I just loop this straight all the way up to here. I do have to have a little bit of this going on, but I think the crossfades will take care of that for me. I don't usually use crossfading a lot. I like, you can see what it's doing. That's clever. I tend to just do it pretty manually. I think I might want to make this cut a little earlier. How freaky is that? Oh god. Yeah, so that didn't quite work out. Although you can hear that bit did kind of work. Nice. And like it's again noticeable when we're, you know, soloing it by itself, but we'll listen to it in context. It's also a lot quieter than I'll probably end up having it actually be in the mix. Of course, I mean, actual mixing will have to happen at some point, but for now we're mostly doing mechanical fixes. I'm particularly glad this works because as much as I kind of knew that it would, I don't do this kind of thing very often, so I wasn't 100% sure that this would actually work out the way that I wanted it to. My god, I'm tired. Okay, I probably don't actually want to. Oh, actually, well, I'll screw that in a second. You can see the transition kind of pop in there. You can tell that that's cut is not the right spot. I'm gonna change this manually. That works. Transition is you didn't really hear the slides in there, but that's just because it wasn't any. But it's still in time, so that's what counts. This entire thing looks like I could just move it. Let's make a cut here and here. And I'll move them around. Oops. Okay. This one's going to be a bit tricky. I guess that worked out. This last bottom guy. I guess actually it was this guy. I guess that'd be why. There we go. That does happen every time. Okay. I think every time I listen to that in playback, I thought that wasn't a playback error and not a recorded error, but I guess it was a recorded error. That's great. It's awesome. That's okay. I can fix that. I can fix a lot of things. 100% sure how I want to fade out this ending. Yeah, all right, so. It barely even sounds like a human voice at this point. It sounds like a synth, like a pad. Bear in mind, I did 0 pitch correction on any of this. At least I'm pretty sure I didn't do any pitch correction. I don't think I did. Well, hold on. I think I saw a new tone somewhere. No, I did not. So yes, I don't think I did time. I don't think I did time switching. I don't think I did that either, but I don't think I did any pitch correction, which I knew going in that I wouldn't have to because Sarah was really, really good at staying in pitch. Well, that might not have been true for these guys. Some of that was a little weird last time. Or for like, simple stuff like this, she's like super good at. Yeah. I am actually streaming this live, but I can't tell because I had to close the actual Twitch website because it was causing my CPU to go nuts. I might have been able to pap out the chat, but I didn't think of doing that. So, oops. And now, okay, so in listening back to this, and which I haven't in a number of weeks, I can come at this at kind of a fresh angle. And one of the things I'm noticing is that while it kind of works to have the vocal, like, you know, her to vocalize, to actually sing something at this point, the way she's doing it, it feels a little weird for there to suddenly be lyrics here with seemingly no context. And like, that was kind of the joke when I was writing it, where it was just sort of like, let's do something funny. And like, I can make it work like that. That could be fine. But it feels weird because she is singing here, but then there's a drop and there's not really any voice happening. But then there's something, there's actual like a lyric going on. And it seemed a little funky. But I am keeping this. I'm going to make it work and it'll be fine. It'll be fine. I promise. And then I'm sure it'll also make more sense when I mix it properly. So the kind of stuff I need to fix here are mostly timing problems. Some of this sounds a little weird because of her incredible vibrato, and that she did you know, harmony, but it's not as if she timed the vibrato, and some of that works. Like it sounds very operatic when the vibratos clash like that. Maybe she did time the vibrato. Yeah, but it's not going to be timed when I have to move it around to make the endings work. So that'll be fun. Come with me. Come with me if you want to be. Okay, so actually, first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to I'm going to time the first guy so that I have something to compare to. Part of that was mostly on time. How did she do that? She did it twice. I don't think it's because I have an effect on her or anything. Oh, I see. She pronounced the T in want and the T in to, both of them. It's actually kind of impressive when you think about it. This might also be an opportunity for those who don't know what the lyrics are to find out what the lyrics are. Yeah, I thought that might be too much. If I turn on crossfading, I think there's this. It'll fuck up these things too. these lyrics. So serious and yet so not. So now I gotta make these fit together.
Come with me if you want, if you.
I can already see this being an issue. I think I will turn on actual crossfading for this.
If you want to be, if you want to be.
Oh, unison.
Wants to be, wants to be. Check my track, wants to be, wants.
Look, it's crossfading in the same hit with itself. That doesn't. That's not what I wanted. Guess I can move it. That's not where the cut is it?
Wants to be, wants to be.
At least that works. And there's this.
Wants to be, wants to be. Check to base. Check my track, though. Check my track, though.
That this is straight up not gonna work.
Check my track. Check my track.
See, I need not. I'm just gonna make this unique and make it not the. Out only? Yeah, let's do out only.
Check my track, though. Check my track. Check my track, though. Check my track. Check my track. Check my track, though. Check my track, though. Check my track.
It's very clearly they don't line up. I'm pretty sure if I make it line up,
Check my track, though.
that's not too fast. So that's actually makes me think that this bottom one had it right.
Check my track, though. Check my track, though. Check my track.
This cut doesn't need to be here anymore.
Check my track, though.
And this super doesn't line up.
Check my track, though. Check my track, though. Check my track, though.
Actually, what I wanted to do here is, okay, so I am gonna have to make this unique. And make this unique. Well, I don't want to make two different ones. Do I? I have to change this to crossfade.
Check my track, though.
Yes. And elongate this part. Oink.
Check my track, though.
That actually worked out pretty good.
Check my track, though. Why?
Yeah, this just needs to fit. Do I already have cut bleeding on this? Yes, I do. This will be pretty easy. Just
Check my track, though. Why?
and these just don't match. Why? I could have had them link up all the way.
Why can't I hold all this peace? Let's collaborate.
That actually ends where it needs to. This is gonna require. Oh, whatever. I'll fucking deal with the problems later.
Why can't I hold all this peace? Why can't I hold all? Why can't I hold? Why can't I hold all this peace? Why can't I? Why can't I hold all this? Why can't I hold? Why can't I hold all this peace? Hold all, hold
this longer or shorter to match that? I guess I can make this shorter. Because I did kind of like how it felt when it was doing that there.
Hold all this peace. Let's collaborate. Let's collaborate. Let's collaborate.
I was like one little waver off. I might leave that there because I don't think it'll be super obvious when it's played in context. This is one of those problems I thought I'd have to deal with later. Okay, so the issue here is that she's pronouncing both T's, and I only really want there to be one hard syllable there. So I guess I can elongate want, so that's 1 2. So that's want to. Want to.
Check my track though. On to base. On to base. On to base. On to base.
That might have worked. There's a little complication here with the hold all this bass. I thought it was kind of clever how the way that I fixed it made it sound like she was saying hold all of this bass, but I don't know how much that bugs me right now. I might want to fix that later, but we'll find out. This is all just kind of random meandering, and I'll fix that mostly when I actually do nitpicking mixing. Why don't I only hear one of those? Oh, because. Are 2 of these in the same track for some reason? They are. These need to be lined up more. The falls all need to kind of be together. Crossfade. 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 I'll need to make one cut. And then I can kind of... That worked out. And I can also... I had so much fun with this drop. It was a good time. And this is essentially a repeat of the first chorus, except it's 5 semitones higher, 3 steps. There is a modulated, key. And then this part, I'll have to fix the same way I fixed the intro, because it's essentially the same thing. Oh my God, I'm tired. And then there's probably some timing issues with this. I'll just fix, just to line up bits and stuff like that. I find looking at high frequency waveforms weird sometimes, because I'm used to looking at bass waveforms and like they look like this, all choppy and like dense and big enough that you can even see individual waveforms even in this view. But then you look at higher frequency waveforms, and you have to zoom in a lot farther to see even a little bit. So if you're in regular, they look like little Doritos. Look at them. They're like, oh my god, there was this guy back in the Reddit, the subreddit EDM production subreddit chat. There's an IRC chat that I frequent, and well, I guess I rarely now, but back in the day, there's this guy. I forget his name, but he was messing around with Razor for the first time, and he made a sound. And I'm reminded of it because the SoundCloud waveform looked like this, and it was the stupidest, funniest sound I'd ever heard ever. And it was called like Sick Wobbs Bro or something, and it was because he was just messing around with it, and it was like, and it was just so funny. And I posted it on my face on the Seamless Facebook so long because it was a long time ago. This is also the guy that made he either made or found the picture of the Master Effects chain that was like, because if you didn't know, you can rename these to whatever you want. And so he called them like compress 8 times and like a red line, and then like bricks by Dr. Skrillex and like a whole huge. It was like redlining. It was really funny. It was good. It was a good time. I wish I could find out who that was, because that I want to find that SoundCloud that link, because goddamn it was funny. In the meantime, let's fix stuff. Crossfade seems to be the way to go. So now she decides to put the syllable on the beat as opposed to right before the beat.
Come with me, come with me.
So like the first time, I'm just gonna take the top one and make it in time, and I'll match the other one to that.
Come
This is way too late.
with me.
That makes that way too early. And that's what the crossfade wants to do? Holy crap.
Come with me.
Yeah. I guess I have to actually make this go away.
Come with me if you want to be.
There she goes with that 2 T's again.
With me if you want. With me if you want to be.
See, now I know if I ever do this again, I'll know to tell her not to do that.
Want to be.
If it weren't for the fact that I'm pretty sure she lives in New Jersey, I would just have her come in and do this again. But I knew that I'd have to do a lot of fixing on my own. I want that S to end on the beat. Well, actually, that probably did before I moved the whole thing. Ooh.
Check my track though. Check my track though. Check my track though. Check my track though. Why can't I hold all this peace? Let's call up. Why can't I hold all this peace?
pretty much good because I want this to go all the way to the.
Why can't I hold all this beat?
I wanted to cut it in such a way that the rhythm wasn't interrupted, and you can kind of see that it worked. This CrossFit business is awesome. Normally when I'm doing like really stupidly like refined cuts, it's usually for like a guitar part or something. And if it's for a guitar part, then I'm probably distorting it. In which case, there being really, really harsh cuts and snaps and whatever means absolutely nothing because it's being distorted to all hell, and it masks all of those sort of editing errors. But when we're doing really sensitive content like this, we have to be super duper careful about it. And this crossfading crap does a good job of that.
Come with me if you want to base. Check my Come with me if you want to base. Come with me if you want to base.
Again with the two T's and unison there.
Come to base. Check my track thought. My track thought.
I can't handle these lyrics. Oh, it was a good time.
My track thought. Why can't I hold all this peace? Let's Why can't I hold all this beat? Why can't I hold all this beat?
Wow, that was like a whole beat off.
Hold all the
I don't even know if I could fix that directly. Because if I drag this all the way over there, I want to get the other word. I'm gonna have to.
hold all this.
That's interesting because this part worked. This part was actually correct. What if I do that?
Hold on.
Oh wow, that worked.
Why can't I hold all this beat?
Okay, well, that was a lot easier than I thought it'd be. Go, crossfade, go.
Why can't I hold all this peace?
Yeah, that's kind of not happening. I like her hitting it here, which is why I kept it in the first part, because it's syncopated. It syncopates right before this next beat hits.
Why can't I hold peace? Let's have peace. Let's have
Guys, we're gonna have to get rid of all that air.
peace. Let's have peace. Let's have peace. Let's collaborate. Peace. Let's collaborate.
And she did a really good job of keeping the vibrato like in time with each other, which is why I'm trying really hard not to fuck it up with these edits.
Peace. Let's collaborate.
If you haven't figured out what the lyrics are, what was it? Come with me if you want a bass. Check my track though. Why can't I hold all this bass? Let's collab, bro. That's the lyric. That's also what it is the first time through. There's no other lyrics. Everything else is just her singing random notes. But that's what's up.
Come with me if you want to base. Check my track thought.
So these I just need to put them in time. They need to actually start when they're supposed to start and that kind of stuff. Not huge, especially because they're short bursts. The editing should be a lot easier.
Come with me if you want to mix. Check my track though. Why can't I hold all this peace? Let's collaborate. Let's collaborate. Let's collaborate.
I might reinforce this with like a string section or something. I had the reason why I had to do this is because I had the idea to support this whole part with a very epic kind of like big orchestra thing, because it's more or less the same part as the other part, only it's just a bit higher, but I still want to differentiate a bit, and I can just sort of accentuate the epic. That's the plan anyway. Oh yeah, this part. See, this part started late, but like she knew that, and she compensated by hitting the next one. So I didn't want to do that. I wanted that moment when you actually do something you don't want to do, and the program asks you if you really want to do it, and you're like, no, I don't. Thank you for catching that. Man, I would have done something really stupid. How often does that happen in life? I got a buzz on my phone, which is why I had to look for the wait for a second. And if you can see that, because I don't have my camera. I'm not used to have my camera. It's weird. See, this is kind of difficult because this note that she's hitting, she didn't hit for very long. She kind of slid into it. I wonder if she did that note any other time. Oh, god damn it, that's the 7. That's the natural 7. So here's the long version of that note. That kind of worked. Have to get this in time. So all that's just not in time. Am I forgetting how to do this? If you're wondering how I'm doing this business, this whole that crap, if you have any two anything like clips together anywhere, also notes, this works the same way in the piano roll. You hold down Shift and Control and then click on it, it'll grab it and it'll move it around. That's what I'm doing. That worked out. This one's a bit harder. She was doing particular inflections and stuff, and getting the timing right on that. It was a bit difficult. This is too long. I'm pretty sure I have that. That's actually a thing that's making a sound. Okay. All right. Okay. Cool. Everything's in time now. Now I can actually mix it. Save. This doesn't need to be here anymore. What? Nothing else happened beneath that, right? Yeah. Okay. Tired. Sleepy, tired, sleepy, tired. That's a reference to a song none of you have ever heard. Because it was sung by a band in my high school. It was funny. Very funny. Ultra racist, but very funny. That's probably why it was funny. All right. God damn it. All right. You and all you. A compressor on each of these. Now these are the same channels that I'm pretty sure the chorus is in, and I don't know if I want that to be true.
If you want
this guy, the 73. Or 74, that's fine, I suppose. And this guy in 73. So now the chorus version, the chorus vocals are going to have their own channels, which means I can mix them differently because I'll need to. Like the requirements that these guys have to be mixed on top of what's going on here and what's going on over here are vastly different to the requirements that these guys had to be mixed on top of what's going on here. So different considerations are required. Holy shit. Did I miss? Oh, that's right. I made some of these unique. That makes it 73. 73, 73, 73, 73, 73, 73, 73, 76, 73, 73, 73, 76, 73, 73, 73, 73, 73, 73, 73. All right, and you are 74, 74, 74, 74, 74, 74, 74, 74, 74, 74, 74. So, okay, brief sort of object lesson in compression here. So what you know, regardless of whatever I'm doing in here, let's talk about the time variables as in sort of what we want to have in terms of the release time setting. So if we look at the graph here, the output reel, we can see the channels, and then we can see what the compressor is doing to get it to do what we're telling it to do, which is for it to be louder, actually. And we can see very plainly the sort of the tremolo, actually. It's called tremolo because it's getting quieter and louder rhythmically, along with changing its pitch rhythmically, which is vibrato. There's a difference between tremolo and vibrato. Now, if I made the release time faster than this, then what would happen is that it would react faster than the tremolo does.
With me if you want to be. Check my track though.
And sometimes that can be good, and sometimes that can be bad. Those are the sorts of things you need to keep in mind when you're working with whatever you're working on. Now, the tremolo rate is not even a little as bad as if your release time was faster than the actual waveform's wavelength, which is not what's happening. But because it's not the actual wavelength, it's more, a whole bunch of wavelengths, and it's in control in terms of a slower time frame, then I can make it faster than that, and it'll work out better.
With me if you want to be. Check my track though. Why can't I hold all this peace? Let's collaborate. With me if you want to base. Check my track though. Why can't I hold all this peace? Let's collaborate.
I might actually decide to do some de-essing in there. I don't know if that'll be that harsh. No, that was actually pretty good. Let's turn it up a bit.
With me. You want to be. Check my track though. Why can't I hold all this peace? Let's collaborate.
So we have a high line and a low line. This is the high line. That's the low line. given her range, which is pretty impressive, it's still not, a massive difference between you being like a male bass and a soprano versus what she's doing, which is, I guess, both alto. I guess I don't remember terms, but what I'm drawing attention to, so on the high part, I'm keeping the EQ relatively what it is. Or that's not the high part, is it? No, it's the low part. Low part.
With me if you want to be.
See where the notes actually are where the fundamental tones are, which is to say the lowest point in the frequency most of the time. That's not always true, but for this is true. It's like right here are where the notes live. And I'm keeping the note area active for the high part, but I'm keeping it not as active for the low part. But I am accentuating instead the higher, in comparison, the higher bits of the lower part, so that they kind of interact, together in that way.
With me if you want to bass. Check my track though.
Certainly, we don't want a huge amount of low frequencies to be involved in any kind of vocal, even if it is a bass vocal, because especially if we're doing it, in combination with any kind of bass instrument. But being that it is a higher pitch, we're kind of lucky in that regard. We do have to change some other things because, again, I don't know if I've talked about this yet, but this track wasn't designed for vocals. It became kind of a winging it thing that we decided that there would be vocals, which means that certain other elements, like the leads that are playing right now, are way too loud because they weren't designed with vocals in mind. Now, what we're doing here is actually way easier than if we were doing any kind of regular vocal. And what I mean by that is that regular vocals are so much more on top of things, so much more in front, so much more like the lead element. And as much as there are lyrics happening right now, this is opera. This is operatic, which means that it's as much as it's still a lead element and still on top of things, it's very much a blend of the rest of all the other instrument elements. And stylistically speaking, that's just a lot easier to mix than if I were to have to put in like an actual, like a Laura Brem or a Tasha Baxter in here. That'd be a lot harder. And it would just mean that I'd have to do more to change it. Like I'd have to change some of the other elements, make it quieter, to make more room for it, which is precisely what I had to do when I mixed in Cell Dweller's vocals on top of the track Death Blow. Because that's another track that really wasn't designed for vocals in mind, but it became clearer that it needed vocals. And when it had vocals, I had to make some changes to certain things that would have been in the way of them. An ass ton of compression helps as well. Now, I'll see how well that worked for this part over here. I'm pretty sure I have to 74, 73. Actually, I don't think I made any of these unique, so that should be fine. Now, these guys. interesting when I brought back down the high end of that lead, you can actually hear the high end of the saw bass beneath it, the saw bass beneath it a lot clearer. And this is sort of like I mentioned this before when I talk about mixing and mastering to my students, is that when you're mixing under compression, which I am because I have compression on the master, when you have some things that are equally loud and you turn one of them down, what'll happen is that it won't really sound like it got quieter, but the other one will sound like it got louder. And I mean, if you do it far enough, eventually it'll sound like it gets quieter. Like we would EQ the lead element, it definitely sounded like the high end got quieter. But when it was played in context with everything else, it was compressed up, together with everything to the point where it sounded more or less the same. It's just that all the other things that had high frequencies started to seem louder. And that's what professional engineers will always be telling you when they're talking about like the best ways to approach like EQing and mixing and mastering and all that, is that if you want something to appear louder, then you want to turn down something else. Especially in a genre like this, where it spends all of its time at 0 dB. You don't have room to pump up or pump down things. And such. Now, this is more or less good. What I have to do now is I have to listen to it at full volume, because right now I'm mixing it at like 30%, and do final touch-ups and stuff like that, because this is more or less good. I fixed the vocals in all the ways that I wanted to, and then the mixing of element, which I did a little bit of just now, was a bit easier than I thought it would be. So making the final actual for real changes won't be as big a deal. But that's the end of this video, because I had to go do some things. So I'm going to play through it, and that'll be that. Here we go. Interesting. I can hear plenty of things actually that I know that I'll change when I do the final mix downs. The final mix, the the choruses without the lead being so present. It sounds sort of weird when the chord, like the supporting bass for other the chords, is way more noticeable than it was a minute ago. And also, but you know, I don't know. There's a lot of stuff that I know that I'm going to change. But yeah, if you have any questions about any of this, let me know. And as usual, have a nice day.